And it says we're live.
Yeah, lies.
All right, do your
okay.
thing.
Give me a sec.
We organized. Now you can't find it.
Yeah, right. All right. If you want to keep a tarp over our heads because it was raining earlier, donate here. Donate here anyway.
It rained. I missed it.
I was walking through it. I noticed it rained.
It was 3-inch rain again. Raindrops are hitting about every 3
inches
inches.
apart.
Oh, well, thanks, Ben.
If you like coffee, talk to these guys. Also, bear in mind that not only are these guys great for coffee, they're letting us do an anthology around their coffees. And I need stories for a coffee anthology from you guys.
But
Yesterday.
Not until it opens. Not until it opens. Start writing until it
Apparently
opens.
not till it opens.
Start writing now.
Yeah, right
Write it
now, hang on to it.
Don't give it to me before.
Well, you got to give them the specifics of what
It's
they
all
said.
Coffee. Right about coffee.
No,
there.
there's more to it than that.
Here comes Donna. Incoming.
Didn't do that on purpose or anything.
Here somewhere. Right there.
Yes, Coffee Ventures opens 4/8/24. Closes 6/28/24. Send us stories. Let's see. Yeah, send us stories about coffee. Where's
Blends. Oh.
the perfect cup of Joe, the nectar of the gods, the safety liquid you hand your partner in the morning? We love the stuff and can't get enough. We even auction it off for charity. How do we find the amazing bean? We invite our authors to visit our favorite coffee merchant, King Harv's Coffee. You can visit them here. And pick a variety from his amazing list. So you go here, you find a coffee you find to be interesting, and you write about it. Write a fantastic story about the detective work, the journey, the adventure of finding the oh so perfect bean. Go here, find coffee, write story.
And they have a chicory blend now, so that
Yes,
opens
they
up
do.
New Orleans for stories.
Noir.
But Jim has already claimed geisha.
Yeah, I've
Yes.
got geisha.
Jim's got geisha.
So
For
there.
that story. Either. I bet there's going to be basket chairs in it somewhere. I'll be disappointed.
So
I'll be horribly disappointed
their
if
new
there's not a
chicory
basket
blend lends itself to noir quite nicely. New Orleans and noir go together
Because it's dark and bitter.
like clap at E3s.
Speaking
Wow.
of which, Wasserman really needs to get a Wasserman test.
I missed something. Is there actually someone named Wasserman?
Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Yeah.
Schultz.
She
What
is
an
a
unfortunate
Congress
name.
critter from Florida.
She used to be the Democratic National Chair, and she's a.
Okay, the only more unfortunate political name I've ever come across was driving through central Kentucky and doing double takes. The first one I thought might be a joke, but after about the fourth one, I realized that no, this dude was serious. Frankly, if my name was Ron Raper, I would change it before I ran for office.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, Wasserman Schultz, who needs to take a Wasserman test, said yesterday, you can't believe what you're seeing in Eagle Pass, Texas. In other words,
you
she
can't
trotted,
trust your lying eyes.
yeah, she trotted out the old style. Who are you going to believe? Me,
Or
who's
your-
a notorious liar, or your lying eyes?
Well,
Eagle
they-
Pass, Texas.
Wiener Raper 2024, Truth in Advertising.
God.
Eagle Pass, Texas, 28,000 folks. Yesterday, 10,000 across the border at Eagle Pass.
Yeah.
And to make it even stupider, this was not the rant I was going to start with, but since I'm here,
Might as
A
well.
rant is a rant is a rant.
hush. DPS has put up barbed wire. So they now are sending the little kids, crawling, quote unquote, under the razor wire. So then CBP, by direction, has to cut the razor wire
Because kids.
to allow the parents and kids in.
I'm just going to
And
throw
then the
something out there.
DPS goes back and puts the razor wire back together.
I'm just going to go somewhere. if you are intentionally knowingly sending your child into razor wire, if you are intentionally knowingly exposing your child to death or serious bodily injury, it is completely legal to shoot that person for exposing their children to. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Well, that's assuming that it's even their kids.
Well, I was going to say
Anybody
these
that's
kids
sending
are-
children, anybody sending children towards razor wire is exposing those children to death or serious bodily injury,
Oh yeah,
and thus can be handled with deadly force.
Yeah.
but
Pow! Next one want to do that shit?
Yeah, no,
What-
this is. I mean, so
They're
they've
coyotes.
been using.
They don't
they've
care.
been using the children as. I don't even know how to describe it because bait's the wrong word. But they're using the kids as these pawns,
Yeah.
these innocent pawns, in trying to get what they want to do. And yeah, no, I mean, I'm right with.
Yeah.
If we had our way, we'd be doing. Full legal justice to them, is even if it had to be done rapid fire at the border.
yeah. The sad part, yeah, they're sacrificial goats.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's human shields. What
Yeah.
they're doing basically is the same human shield
Yeah.
context that happens in third worlds. And how you handle human shields.
Yeah.
Headshots.
You take you take higher ground and you shoot everybody sending the human shields
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah.
or you do like the Israelis, kneecap them with 22s.
No,
Now, I like that because then you're not killing them,
no,
and
but
you're marking them
they're
because the next time they show up, you get them in another knee.
well, they
And
show up.
it's-
They show up at Israeli hospitals because the Palestinian hospitals are shit.
Yeah.
And they show up at the Israeli hospitals using Israeli tax money. Why? Just pop them in the head and
Yeah.
get done with it.
Yeah, they do the same
I'm
thing
just-
here. I was gonna say they become a burden on.
Yeah.
But honestly, they either wind up in our hospitals or their compatriots across the border will just shoot them because they're dead weight now.
Yeah,
No, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of kneecapping anybody. Kneecapping is other than psychologically sucks. If you're gonna do not do somebody a mild injury. If you're gonna injure them, make sure they can't do anything in return.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Pop them in the head, drive on.
Yeah.
yeah, Brennan, that's another one. Yeah, get some use out of those 240s. The other one is, which I was going to start with, the fact that Tuberville has made Schumer back down on the having to get approval for higher authorities in the military to get confirmed. So what they've done is Tuberville has been holding up, has been holding up confirmation on over 300 senior military for now going on months because he wants the DOD, i.e. Austin and Milley, to do away with we're going to give you free basket leave and pay for you to go to another state to have an abortion if you're active duty or if you're in the reserves. So what Schumer has done is now started using political pressure and, how do they term it? Procedural methodology to move appointments forward. So far they've confirmed a new chairman of the Joint Chiefs for the Air Force, who and General David W. Alvin as the Vice Chief of the Air Force, and Admiral Lisa Franchetti for the Navy. Now, the interesting thing is that George and Franchetti both, George is the second black officer to ever hold the Chairman Joint Chiefs, first being Colin Powell. Both George and Franchetti were not the people recommended by the military. Biden overrode the active duty military and DOD recommendations to dip down and pick people that they wanted.
That never works. That
Yeah.
never goes well.
Well, and CQ Brown being a good example. He is a proponent of DEI for the military.
I'm a
And
big
his-
promoter. I'm a big promoter of DIE for the other guy.
Yeah. And he has proposed it and pushed it in the Air Force quite extensively, including a class of Air Force pilots who the qualification to be in the class was you had to be BIPOC. No
That's-
whites allowed
There's
because, quote unquote, if people of color were in the same class with the whites, they never scored as high as the whites.
a damn good thing that I have no interest in running for president.
Yeah.
Because President Law Dog would have the shortest and most historically interesting career of any U.S. president.
So yeah, you're exactly right, David. They'd rather have politically reliable appointees than the best people. That's how Austin got in. That's how
That's how Millie got in.
Millie got in.
Millie's useless.
Well, and he goes away and he'll get a 6-figure job with somebody because he's politically correct. He wore 4 stars. He played the game right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want President Law Dog. I would be in so much trouble. I would be in so much trouble.
Well, once again, of course, we have no CRs. We've got no budget. And Congress decided to go on recess today.
God bless them. If they're in recess, they're not fucking us over.
Yeah. But the thing to think about, folks, is the fact that all you ever hear about is, oh, well, the military may not get paid. The retirees may not get paid. Oh, you may not get your Social Security payment. Nobody ever talks about any of the entitlements not getting paid.
Oh, no.
None. Yeah. Yeah, but they'll close. Yeah. Oh, you're right, dead on the money, Rick. They'll close the parks before they'll close the Department of Education.
Executive Order number 1. I have noticed the president has taken note of the fact that Congress has shut down the national park off of Key West. Therefore, by virtue of this executive order, President Law Dog is assigning the park off of Key West to the state of Florida. Y'all have fun.
The other thing people talk about is, well, Congress shouldn't get paid if nobody else gets paid. However, you can't do that because the way
Congress wrote the law
is they automatically get paid regardless of whether they're there or not. And they automatically get significant pay raises.
It doesn't matter for most of them because most of them have amassed enough of a personal income that
And by personal income, she means sucking off the teat of the lobbyists.
Oh, yeah.
Dear Congress, I have here this bill that you allegedly voted. I notice that 20 of the votes are absent or no comment. I am therefore assigning a negative value to those votes, and I hereby decree that this legislation did not actually pass.
Yeah.
Your move, dickwads. Love, President Law Dog.
Yeah. You're exactly right, Mike. Marshall said it is abhorrent to the Constitution. Yeah. And yes, many of the Congress critters went in relatively poor and came out multimillionaires.
Dear Congress, I have read over this legislation that you have put up on my desk, and there's no way that any of y'all know what all's in it. Vetoed. Try again.
Well, there again, you have Pelosi's approach. You got to pass it to see what's in it.
Dear Congress, I know this legislation was passed during we have to pass it, see what's in it. Vetoed. Try again.
Yeah.
Love, Law Dog.
Andy, she was a bartender. Now she's worth millions. Hell, look at the Obamas. They were worth depending on who you talk to, less than $350,000 before he got in the Senate. And how much are they worth now? Yeah. Jesse, how dare you come up with a good idea? Of course, that'd never pass anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She was, that's right, David. When she was elected, she complained she couldn't afford to rent in D.C. But she lives in a brand new townhouse down in,
Allegedly outside of a congressional district, which I believe is an issue.
yeah, well, she's got a brand new townhouse down in, oh, hell, what's that section of D.C.? Down by the ballpark. And I just drew a blank on it.
Dear Congress, I've read over this legislation which you sent to my desk. It gave me a headache. Vetoed.
Yeah.
Love, law dog.
Hell, Brennan, there are a number of Republicans, no Democrats doing it, a number of Republicans who found out and said they couldn't afford D.C., so they have been sleeping in their offices. And that's where they live when they're in D.C., is literally in their office. At least they're honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ignore our mansion on Martha's Vineyard. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Dear Congress, I have read the legislation you sent to my desk. I agree with it, except for the poison pill you put on page 3. In return, I have declared the Department of Education will now be housed in Minot, North Dakota. Your move. Love, Lotto.
Why send them to Minot? That's too good for them. Send them to Appalachia.
Dear Congress, correction, I've sent them to Fort Polk. They've got 90 days to move or submit their resignations. Your move. Love, Lotto. What? I like Fort Huachuca.
Louisiana might take issue with that and throw their asses out.
Appalachia doesn't want them.
Yeah.
Why lower the IQ?
Oh, Jonna.
Ouch.
That one left a mark.
Ouch.
Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about something fun. So,
Dear Congress,
Cedar?
I've read the legislation that you've sent to my desk. I understand you do not agree with the ATF being housed in Hawaii. Don't care. Love, Lotto.
Why are you sending the ATF to Hawaii?
So they can smell roasting people for, oh, my bad. Never mind. The smell of roasting people makes them feel at home.
The Hawaiians don't want them either.
The Hawaiians don't want them either. Send them to
Oh,
California.
Michael, that's perfect. Send them to Polk and rename it Fort Huey Long.
Oh, ouch.
Only people from Louisiana will get that reference, but that's perfect.
Why is the ATF now housed at Thule, Greenland? Because I can. Love, Lotto.
Yeah, you can't put them in Thule because that's a foreign country.
Hide and watch. You can't do that. Show me where I can't.
Yeah, Padre, guy who moved from Appalachia to Washington, raised the average IQ in both places, 5 points.
Ouch.
Oh.
And we can have people subscribing for this.
Absolutely we do.
By the way, folks, thank you to all of you who subscribed. I have to wonder about you.
I have to wonder a lot. I have to wonder a lot.
Because everything we do is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So what the frick are you watching this for?
I spent this morning Shanghaiing authors.
We do everything wrong. So Cedar's been playing. You haven't seen yet what she's been playing.
I was showing
please.
it to Lotto just before we started.
No,
Which one?
the next pinup.
Oh, yes.
The next pinup.
Jonah
line cover.
really
I
wants me to
really
show
like
this
this
one off.
one. Just to kind of share. I mean, it's like
We're going to show this to Jim.
Oh,
damn.
yes.
So apparently
Damn.
Jim likes it.
Well, considering when I was out on my smoke break, I got to watch a sweet young thing in old school yoga pants walk in there.
Oh yeah, they're having yoga classes over there. I need to go sign up for those.
The see-through ones.
Oh, good Lord. You know, spandex is not a miracle worker. It tries, but after a while, it's just stretched a little too thin.
But the red G-string,
Oof, a G-string in yoga. That's going to go places you never want anything to go.
New definition to fanny floss.
Yes.
yes. But it was definitely interesting looking from
I'm sure it
the
was.
stern aspect.
We'll,
The bow aspect
we'll
wasn't
slide
bad
this
either.
back over here so that y'all can actually see it. Ian has the art of the tease down pat.
Rick, I think it might have been 4.
Apparently, you're getting some props, Cedar.
yes.
Oh, I've had some fun recently. I've had a lot of fun.
AJ, no comment.
We're not going there. We are not going there. We are definitely not going there.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Dear Congress, regarding the legislation you sent to my desk, I hate you all. Love, Lodog.
Oh, yeah, I am having fun making art for all of the different projects the Raconteur Press works on because I get to stretch my imagination, creativity, and I get to be just a little bit subversive, sometimes in unexpected ways.
That's going to be a great cover.
Because there's another cover that I can describe as gritty science fiction Madonna and Child,
Yeah.
and it works.
Oh, wait till you see the cover for Or All Will Burn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Larry says, I've been reliably informed that spandex is digestible.
No.
Not going there.
Sorry, no, that one's just going to go right through you. There are edible, that's things you just can't digest.
Not my fault.
For once.
Right?
you know, this morning I walked in here.
Spandex, a new option for fiber.
I walked in here this morning after doing a black bag on an author. And I looked at Courtney and said, please don't ruin my authors. And I need to start telling them, stop ruining me.
You said don't break him, and I had
Break
to
him.
break an author.
She's licked a couple. I mean,
With no clocks. Anything's edible if you try hard enough. Yeah. Anybody's been to Cedar School knows that.
edible, yes. Nutritious, nah. Sometimes you just got to eat something that's not healthy for you, though.
Yeah.
I'm so not going there. I am so not going there.
Lions won, Christians.
I
nothing.
could have gone there in a bad way, and I'm just going to slide right on by that one.
You open.
Dear Congress, regarding legislation you sent to my desk, eat a dick. Love, President Lodog.
Cedar School. Yes, I have unfond memories of Cedar School for a number of
We have to
reasons.
pass it to find out what's in it.
Spandex or Congress?
Spandex or Congress?
For the same reason.
Same.
For the
I
same
mean-
reason.
Talking about
Oh, look.
edible things that aren't good for you.
Oh, look, I have a pin.
Question: should I take those to Vegas?
I have a pin. I'm pretty sure you can find all sorts of stuff in Vegas that way beyond
you
what.
got to show them the backside.
Yeah, the side was pointing at me.
Actually, the other suggestion made on those was that they should feature largely in our Halloween pumpkin cutting this year as decorations, or possibly yarmulkes. I'm not clear.
Yarmulkes, really? It's bad. It's bad enough when she does it. When she does it, it's so much worse.
Yeah.
You expect it coming from me.
I expect it from you.
Look, you realize I have a few years on our dear, sweet, innocent, youngest mom of the apocalypse.
A lit up yarmulke.
There's nothing in this room that counts as innocent.
So possibly you.
Period.
Before we got a hold of you.
Oh no, man, no, I'm not going there.
Oh, look, I have a pen.
Ooh, that one's got 4 colors in it.
Yes,
I
it
haven't seen
does.
one of those in a long time.
Was that my 20 books pen?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe it is.
Yeah, those are always interesting. Usually 3 of the 4 colors don't work from the get go.
When
They're
I was
actually pretty decent. I like those pens.
when I was in high school, I had one that had like 8 colors in it, and that thing was my baby. I loved it.
I
Oh.
All
love
the
mine.
colors.
Oh, Michael, he was the screamer. He was killed in a car wreck.
Sam Kinison?
Kinnison, yeah, Sam Kinnison. He did some interesting comedy.
Oh my god.
There was a whole.
Necrophilia Love was probably one of my favorites. And that says something about me.
Any taller?
Anywho, so moving on.
Okay, you started this.
Squirrels. Glow
Squirrels.
sticks. Fuck.
Talking about Sam Kinison, somehow Johan came up with a poster of George Carlin's. It's not just the 7 forbidden words, it's a whole bunch of words. It's a whole poster
Yeah.
full of words and relatively small text. And Sanford took one look at it and suggested I bring it over here and hang it on the wall at the blanket fort to remind us of what we're not supposed to say on YouTube.
No, we're screwed. There's nothing about this that's supposed to work. You know that, right?
I'm aware of that. I just thought it was funny.
There's nothing about this live stream that follows the rules for success. And yet, here you are.
So I'm developing a talk called "Doing It Wrong and Getting It Right," because we do everything wrong, but we're having a good time.
Apparently, black bagging authors is not the traditional way of getting people into your anthologies.
It is not. Typically, you take them to lunch or dinner or something. So calling them up and saying you have marching orders.
Michael says he's glad your son has discovered George Carlin. Yeah.
Well, I think this is more of a gateway to. My child is like the biggest prude, which is actually hilarious. But I mean, we knew from the time he was born 3 older sisters.
Yeah.
Either he was going to be really good with women or want nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
He's gone firmly in that direction.
Why
Yeah.
not both? Paying your authors? Yeah. For those of you, does anybody have any video of Rita getting on her soapbox during the Raconteur press?
I don't think so.
Damn
Most people weren't recording it. It hadn't been something that was discussed. The tech crew had enough on their plates without
Right.
adding an
Well, yeah.
extra.
I figured somebody
So-
with a cell phone would have gotten that because I really want to condense that.
It
'Cause
was a
that's-
great little rant.
That's Raconteur Press's mission statement right
Yeah.
there. That
Mhm.
she just spontaneously. It was
Well,
glorious.
It's in her head. It'll come back out, and hopefully we'll catch it on video.
You haven't met Rita.
Yes, I have.
One time good deal.
You can ask her to write about how she feels about gatekeepers.
Right.
Well, I figure you and I, with the broadcast, we're going to have special guests. Well, John us off at Gallivant and at Dickens Fair. Rita's definitely going to be one of them.
Oh, absolutely.
So if we poke the right buttons, who knows what'll come out.
That way I can replay it and actually write it down. Because it was a glorious rant about gatekeepers. That very gentle, very Rita-esque rant about gatekeepers, and that was such a burn. That
Yeah.
was such a burn.
She does such a polite rant,
Yes.
unlike
Such a
ours.
burn.
Well, she's intellectual.
And it's very sweet. And that was,
Yes.
it's like, ow.
Yeah. Well, actually, Alan, I've been on a couple of panels at conferences about podcasting, live streams, et al. And we are always used as the bad example.
The bad example that works is what we're used for.
Yeah.
By us.
Yeah.
Only a week till end of quarter. What?
If you get paid through check by public.
Oh,
advertising
gotcha.
in the quarter.
Gotcha.
Yep. Which reminds me, I got to write checks as soon as the quarter ends for the authors for Twisted Tropes because it's the end of a quarter.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Goodness. This year has just
I don't
been
have to worry
flying
about it.
back.
I don't have to worry about
This
it.
is why we have Chuck.
Yes, it is. I don't have to worry about it.
We also need to figure out what happens if we have a single point of failure right now, which makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I would like to figure out if they're
I need about 300 yards of
Yeah.
bubble tape or a bubble wrap.
put him in a bubble and just like
Because if he craters in, it's going to suck.
yeah.
So I will say I can have us entirely move to a new platform. It's going to take longer the more books we put out.
Mhm.
Yes.
But if PubShare goes down tomorrow, I can have us somewhere else in about a week.
Joel, we've been averaging about 1,500 views a month. So,
Yeah.
Probably
And
400
they're-
to 500 that come back and watch it later.
And they're starting to spike, which really makes me
Yeah.
nervous.
Yeah, we're creeping up on 500 subscribers.
Any update on or All Will Burn? Lovely cover. We have a lovely cover for it. Just off the cover, this is going to be one of our best sellers.
The one for 2 is going to be
Apparently, ovulation will occur when the
Cover for book 2 comes
book
out.
2 comes
Yes.
out.
I may have done that on purpose.
You're entertaining pecan new fans. What?
people liked as a pecan.
Oh,
Yes, Todd's saying that we have come up with new fans. I had a
is that Disco Todd?
Yes, that's
Oh.
Disco Todd.
That's Disco Todd. Okay. I had no idea who T-Mac was. There are so many different T-Mac could be.
I have so many people in my life that have like 3 handles. I'm trying to keep track of them all. I don't always manage. I got the sweetest message requests on Facebook today. Someone found my story in Pinup Noir, loved it, loves the whole anthology.
Good.
And she wanted to know if she could send Toast some catnip.
Why not? Everything else gets sent here.
Well, she sent it. I gave her the address for the blanket fort. She wanted to know if I have a P.O. box. So
Yeah.
I gave her the address for the blanket fort. So it'll be a little envelope of mind-altering kitty substances showing up at the blanket fort.
I need.
It's not Disco Todd, it's Ball. But
No, it's Disco Todd. Greg did
Lot
the
of
holy
boxes,
holy
yes.
thing of Disco. His call sign was now Disco Todd.
and being military gets shortened to Ball.
So I need to get in touch with State Department and find out where the hell they can get their bomb-proof mailboxes. The ones you can put a bomb in, it goes off, and I need one of those.
I learned something random.
Remember the old Volkswagen commercials from Europe?
Yes,
Volkswagen?
you learn something random.
Yes.
I'm kind of nervous.
Here in Texas, it is illegal to replace your own mailbox post if you live on a state-maintained route.
Yep.
I did not know that. This
They'll do
came
it
up
for you.
in a conversation, and I was like, at first I thought I was off the thing because Sanford has noticed that ours is leaning a little, so he wanted me to replace it. Or
Well, you can
straighten
replace
it
that
out.
one.
Yeah.
It's not a state maintained route.
I know, but I thought I was off the hook for a minute.
No, not so much.
Sadly, no.
I met no idea how the names map. Right?
But I will say one of my favorite parts of this
Raptor.
last weekend.
I got to tell you, my daughter just went through gallbladder surgery yesterday, and they were rather large.
Holy
good.
gods.
Great.
Yeah,
Good
that's
job.
why she no longer has a gallbladder.
No shit.
Yeah.
She had those things. She had a gallbladder for a while. She
Yeah.
just had
Yeah.
a stone factory.
Yeah,
I
they
was
yanked
going
my
somewhere.
mom's last year.
Yeah.
And,
I was
and
going
mom was
somewhere.
up and moving the next day.
Oh, on Pecan, I've got people on the Pecan Facebook about how nice it was to meet me. I have no idea who they were.
It's a con. They understand that.
I was dealing with something at registration. I was dropping off the hat so people could put questions in the hat, and then reminding people to put questions in the hat.
And they didn't, apparently.
And they didn't. It's okay. It went fine. It went fine.
Yeah.
And I turn around, and there were these 2 very cheerful people standing behind me, and I'm looking at them going, if we've met before, you're going to have to remind me of your names, because I am about 50 people so far today, and I don't remember. Like, we've never met in person. I'm like, okay, like I'm Todd, I'm Ann. I'm like, they're gas sense. Like they were just so cheerful and excited to meet me, and I'm like, hey.
They're lovely. They're
are.
just, I mean, they're really pretty couple. They're really, but also the brains in those two. Oh my
my.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was supposed to be, I was suckered because I was informed that Questions from the Hat with Law Dog was me pulling questions and asking people. Apparently it's somebody pulling questions asking me. So nobody actually put any questions in the hat.
Next time we walk around with the hat and a pad of paper and
And it had
and
questions for
corner
Lana.
people.
So we freeformed it. And they got a 5-minute rant on monkeys.
Because of course they did. I mean,
Somebody asked.
And this is a surprise house.
Somebody asked.
any AMA with Ian involved is going to involve monkeys somehow wedged in there uncomfortably.
God, I wish. Oh, wait.
Oh, and here comes more weather. Yay.
So we had an hour and we freeformed it. And apparently it was, I don't remember much other than the monkeys. But
You had fun.
well, I was in a high hover and so
And everybody
And
else had
this
fun.
is different, pal.
somebody got sneaky.
What? Would I do something like
Yes. Frequently. With great gusto and joy. Mhm. So she had me so busy I didn't have time to freak out, which was actually seems to have actually worked.
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, if we can get you pointed in the right direction, you're pretty good about holding steady.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
If I have a target, if I have a target and mission, I can do that without even
Yeah.
thinking about it. So no target, no mission. I start.
Yeah. being entertaining is the whole thing.
Yes.
Well, that's what we're trying to do with
Yeah.
this. It's what we try to do with Raconteur Press.
Yeah.
I think that's why we sell so well with Rack Press, because we're being entertaining.
They
Yeah.
might be monkeys with Andrew Spergel as lead singer.
Hey, Don, if you got a nap in, that's good.
One ahead of me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The day after we got home, I laid down and took a nap and woke up at 7 o'clock going, oh God, it's the next morning. His light was just right. I'm like, oh my God, it's dawn. No, it's not. It's going into a storm. Okay, I'm fine. I slept for a day.
Oh hell, we got time change coming up too, don't we?
Yeah.
Mm,
Bugger.
sadly. Oh.
Well, supposedly they're going to do away with it one way or the other this year. Supposedly.
Well,
They've
the
been saying
state,
that for how many
the
years?
the state legislature can vote to stay on standard time.
Yeah.
They cannot vote to stay on daylight savings.
Yeah.
The federal government can vote to stay on daylight savings, and they're a bunch of
Yeah.
Just vote to go on standard time. Just
Yeah.
vote for standard time. Get it over
Arizona
with.
has done that. What's hilarious is a town over in Virginia and Tennessee. Yeah. Kentucky, one of them. The state line runs through the middle of town.
Oh,
And one of them's Eastern time, one of them's Central time.
wow.
Yeah.
My mother's house. The timeline runs through the back her backyard. So if you're in her front yard, you're in Eastern time, and if you're in her backyard, you're in Central.
Yeah.
When I moved out here to Texas, she was because I had been in Eastern time, so she was just set everything to Eastern time. But when I moved out here, my sister's on Eastern, and now I'm on Central, and she's like,
Oh, yeah.
Did you see what Wally did earlier? Sperglement man, doing the thing is the Sperglement can.
Yeah. Yeah. Cats do not acknowledge time changes. Neither do dogs or any
No.
other animal.
right? They know what time it is.
Yeah, Larry, I agree. DST may have made sense once. It does not make any sense anymore.
Go for just
Bristol, thank you, Doug.
just go for standard time in line with the rest of the world and drive on.
Yeah.
Just pain in the butt. This whole daylight savings, it gets, for me, it gets worse every year.
Yeah.
Every year that I switch over, I lose more and more time trying to recover. And it shouldn't be that way, but apparently it is.
Yeah.
Pain in the butt.
Yeah, and the thing is, There are other parts of the world where, depending on whether it's summer or winter, you can get 22 hours of daylight or 22 hours of darkness, your choice. You just have to go there.
That's because you're north of one of the Arctic Circle and you're an idiot anyway.
I resemble that.
Uh-huh.
But it was nice seeing off at midnight. Finish at 4 o'clock in the morning, it was still light.
Thing is, with 22 hours, it doesn't matter if you're on standard time or daylight savings. It's just 22 hours of suck.
Well, the only real problem was staggering out of the bar at 11:30 and trying to figure out, was it AM or PM?
22 hours of suck.
Yeah, RK, that I would agree with that.
The state legislatures are allowed to vote to stay on standard time. They cannot vote to stay on daylight savings. It violates federal law. The feds can vote to stay on daylight savings, but that's a suck idea. Just stay on standard time and drive on. The idiots, dear Congress, I've read the legislation you sent to my desk. You're all a bunch of idiots. Vetoed. Love, law dog.
Yeah,
What
John.
legislation you sent to my desk? Did you?
Obviously, you did not. Therefore, it has been vetoed. Try again.
Yeah, John's right. So is Larry. Time changes suck mightily for night shift. Yeah,
Sucks time for everybody. It's
Yeah.
I work during the days now, and it is harder and harder every year to recover.
Yeah.
Just that 1 hour.
well, in 1 year you get paid for it, and 1 year you don't. Or one month you get paid for it, 1 month you don't, depending.
Dear Congress, I've read the legislation sent to my desk. It's obviously it's obvious you did not. Vetoed. Try again.
Yeah, Rick. That's a good question. How many kids are allowed to walk to school these days?
How many kids are allowed to be kids?
Okay, when we lived in Ohio, we lived just a little, like 1.1 miles. So that's a little over a mile from the high school. And within a 2-mile radius of the high school, they did not bus
Yeah.
the high school kids. You had to walk if you were a high school kid within 2-mile radius. Which in Ohio means that there's days when you're asking kids to walk through an awful lot of snow and slush and
Uphill, both ways.
well, it was definitely uphill. It was up quite a steep hill, but then it was downhill on the way back down.
Which got interesting.
So the effect was that there was an awful lot of traffic jam around the school every day with parents driving kids in and out.
I was walking to school in elementary school, and it was probably a mile. But that was the way it was done back then, and
I stand by my statement that kids aren't allowed to be kids these days.
No.
Not the way I was a kid.
oh hell, we were feral compared to what
Yeah.
these kids are today.
I definitely was. I mean, I was homeschooled, so
Yeah.
I was already.
You were feral and then some.
Yeah. We made it a point of honor to get our schoolwork done in 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Which we could do, because that meant we had more time to go outside and do whatever we wanted to do, which was, I don't know, building forts, tree houses, whatever,
When we came stateside,
running a trap line out towards the Alaska Range. I mean,
Oh,
Boy.
well played, Don.
What?
Last year I worked the fall time change overnight, so I put the extra hour on my timesheet. Commissioner's office asked, and I blank face replied, "I worked it. I should be paid."
yeah, that's correct. That's correct. When we would come during that one month, they forced Dad to come back to the States.
Yeah.
We would get on our bikes. We would grab a sandwich or breakfast cereal.
Yeah.
Get on our bikes and come back sometime before dark. Like somebody said, there's a thing, a meme on Facebook. If the federal government had to run an ad asking if you knew where your kids were, you had feral kids.
Yeah.
And we were feral.
That was all of us. I mean, and the other thing we had was multiple sets of parents.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because all of our friends' parents, plus the random parents that we would see,
mhm.
And if we screwed up, we all got our butts beat by whatever parent caught us. And then we got our butts beat when we got home.
For making somebody else beat our
Yeah.
butts. When streetlights can be home by the time streetlights came on.
What
Yeah.
street lights?
We
half the
didn't
time-
have street lights.
And half the time,
I'm not
Mom
even
had to
sure
be
there
reminded.
I'm
Yeah.
not even sure there were street lights in town, which was 5 miles away.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Mom would go, oh,
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing was be home when supper got served.
or go hungry.
Yeah.
These days, they don't let kids do what we used to do.
No.
I
Yeah.
rode. Chris and I rode from Electra to Pumpkin Center one time on our bicycles. That's a pretty far ride.
Hell, riding a bicycle with a 22 across the handlebars.
Mhm.
Imagine what would happen today if you did that.
Oh God. Woo!
I never did that. Fishing pole a couple of times, but
Fishing pole a lot.
Yeah. I would laugh every year I go to Tulsa for the gun show up there, because within about 4 blocks you see people walking with guns over their shoulders, and they're totally ignored
mm-hmm.
because everybody knows they're either going to or coming from the gun show.
Yep.
First day of hunting season.
Yeah.
In a lot of rural states back in the 80s.
Yeah.
First day of hunting season, the principal's office is usually full of rifles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were old enough. We left them in the truck in the gun rack and left the truck unlocked. And nobody ever thought about stealing them. Kids come home at noon at dinner time or starved. Yeah, that's pretty much it back in the day.
Some parent would throw sandwiches at you, which
Yeah.
was Wonder Bread and mayo and pepper and some loaf.
Yeah,
There you go. Get out.
bologna.
Bologna. Ham loaf.
The one we always stayed
You
away
can't get
from.
pickle loaf here in Texas, and it makes me
Used
sad.
to
Yeah.
you could.
I like pickle loaf and olive loaf.
Oh,
Oh, God. I never could stand olive loaf.
I
Rita.
like olives, so
Rita introduced me to an olive burger while we were at Pecan. Oh my
Ooh,
God, yes.
that sounds. I may
It's a
have to find
cheeseburger with a layer of green olives on it. Oh my God, that's good.
That's
I
that's a
like-
muffaletta.
that. I was gonna say I will get a jar of the muffaletta stuff,
Yeah.
or bruschetta, which is a chopped olive spread, and I'll put that on some weird random stuff because I like olives.
This is. I'm from the Mediterranean. I love olives. It's like,
Oh.
it's like a cheeseburger, layer of olives. It's brilliant, man. It's brilliant.
I just drew a blank on the name of the deli down by
Market Street.
no, the one down by Wells Fargo. Jason's.
Oh, Jason's Deli. We haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, they actually have muffalettas in there.
Yes, they do.
Ooh,
Sure do.
noted.
They're not as good as the New Orleans muffaletta,
Well,
but they're not
yes,
bad.
but they're a
It's
lot
Jason-
closer.
It's Jason's Deli.
Yeah.
Green olives. Green olives. If I could have, I asked Rita if they had a black olive burger, and she said no. It's like, don't know what you're missing out on.
Well, okay, and the thing is too
Layer of
that
Colorado
Have fun,
olives.
Bill.
They're
Be
so-
safe.
there's so many more kinds of olives than just green olives
Oh, yeah.
and black olives that Americans think of.
Yeah.
And I have gotten to explore some really nice olive bars. The one at Jungle Jim's was amazing, and probably 20 linear feet of olive bar and also antipasto and little mozzarella balls and all the things.
United Market Street used to have an olive bar, and the first time I went in, there were people lined up just looking at it.
Yeah.
And I'm going through. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
We had olives for days.
Yeah, no, we used to budget. I'd go in and get one of the quart-sized deli containers there at Jungle Jim's
Yeah.
because you get the pint or the quart, and I'd fill it up, and that would last me for a month if I was careful and rationed
I
myself.
get on an olive or a pickle spree, and a quart of olives will not last me a month.
Well, I didn't get down there that often. It was a 45-minute drive,
Yeah.
so it was. I don't get if we had.
And here we
lived-
are on food again.
Yes. Well, at one point, I was trying to find a job close to Jungle Jim's, so I would have an excuse to.
Jungle Jim's is a semi-upscale.
Oh, it is not at all upscale. It is just huge.
It's basically a grocery store. Okay.
It's an international grocery store. When they say international, they mean it. It is absolutely massive, and the just like regular grocery section of its own is not even as nice as an HEB for you guys that are listening here in Texas. But the fact that they then have this massive rest of the store where you can find aisles dedicated to bags of rice. I kid you not. There's a 60-foot aisle that is all kinds of rice from all over the world. Some of them in like 50-pound bags. I miss that place.
Road trip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Larry, that sucks. Macaroni and cheese is a staple, especially for anybody that was in the military. And yes, the states used to always, especially for the Guard, cancel all scheduled meetings and everything the first week of hunting season because they knew they weren't going to get anybody there.
No, olives are one of those comfort foods. I love olives, stuffed olives, non-stuffed olives.
Larry, if you want to try something good, I'd say good. Macaroni and cheese and brisket chopped up and sriracha is surprisingly good.
Yeah, I'm not like a huge sriracha fan.
Yeah.
I've used there's some things that are good with sriracha. If I'm going to make tom yum, I want sriracha in it because the flavor works. Speaking of brisket, in my freezer, you have a brisket, sir.
Oh, I do.
Yes, you do.
How big of a brisket?
It is not a terribly large brisket, but it is definitely a brisket.
Oh,
So
throw that one out and go get another one.
probably.
Because with this crowd, I need one big one
Or two small ones.
or two small ones.
I
Yes.
have a couple.
Shauna has volunteered one. All right, we have a plan.
Oh, the last one that I cooked that we ate all of was 17 pounds.
Yeah. Well, this is why I try to, when I'm planning dinner for y'all, I'm looking at least 15 pounds of meat.
Yeah.
Whether that's me roasting 3 roasting chickens or doing a bunch of pork shoulder or whatever.
Dinner on the 21st.
Yeah, the 21st.
October 21st. Yeah. We're doing the quarterly, y'all come to Tiny Town and bring food.
Yes. If you guys want to come on the 21st, ping me. I have a potluck sign up list, and it also has things like the address and times, so you can have an easy
Oh,
reference.
put me
guide.
down for jambalaya.
Okay.
I am
So-
not doing brisket because we got a good brisket place that's close.
David and Michaela are coming and,
Are they then?
bringing all their littles.
Oh,
Oh.
joy.
There's going to be teacup humans.
Yes.
One of which is not mobile yet. I forget how old that
That's
one is,
good.
but I think it's real small.
Oh, that's right. They did have another one
Yeah.
on the offering. Okay.
2 mobile, 1 not mobile. That's what I've got on the sheet.
Teacup humans.
Yes.
I think they may do chicken spaghetti or Mississippi pot roast. I'm not sure which yet.
I'm making mac and cheese.
Yay.
I'm bringing a lot of paper towels.
Well, and that's the thing. We need everything because this isn't going to be at one of our houses.
Yeah.
So if somebody's coming in and they don't want to bother with trying to bring food, because
Yeah.
I've got a couple people that are like, "We're coming from a distance. I don't know how we're going to do food," and I'm like,
Don't
"We're going to need cups, plates,
Yeah.
plasticware."
grab
So-
a 12-pack of some variety of soda.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that making sure I haven't signed up for anything yet because I'm going to wait and see what holes need to be
Yeah.
filled. So
Right now,
Oh, stacked cheese enchiladas. Oh, yeah.
that sounds good.
Rita and I are going to bring an entree, something. We will not be bringing dessert because we figure a lot of folks will be bringing desserts. So we're going to bring, like I say, either Mississippi
Yeah.
pot roast or chicken spaghetti.
Mm-hmm. Kent Rollins.
Winkle Red,
just-
we have no friggin' idea
What?
how many people are showing up.
We don't know yet. We put out the call
I'm,
and
I'm here to tell you that We can say X number of people. There will be X plus Y show up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
It's always plus, not minus.
Yeah.
I can tell
Oh,
you.
yeah.
I can tell you that right now, when I'm cooking for the core group here in town, I expect to see anywhere between 12 and 15. So
Most we've had is 24.
right, but that was extraordinary circumstances. A lot of people from out of town.
Yep, there is a
So-
stove to warm up
There's
food.
a
Yes.
complete kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a complete kitchen, so no issues there.
And there's houses within easy range of. So if we have,
If we need to cook something, we've got enough houses
Yep.
that have stoves that
Yep.
work.
yeah, my plan is I've got a crock pot and a rice cooker and an instant pot, all of which can get pressed into service as needed.
If I had to
So-
guess, I would say we're going to have between 35 and 50.
Yeah, I might say closer to the lower end of that,
Yeah.
just because we're not doing a huge amount of publicity.
Yeah.
But God knows. I mean, I'm hoping that the potluck sign up sheet will help with giving us an estimate.
We're not doing a huge amount of publicity. We're doing about as much publicity as we did for our first series of books
Or Fool's Con.
or Fool's Con.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes she is a sweet summer child.
Yeah.
Need to broil the cheese on top. Yeah, there's a full kitchen.
We can make that happen, RK.
Full kitchen, and I've got a propane torch if we're just going to broil cheese. I mean,
It's an old service station.
Yeah.
You didn't say what kind of propane torch.
well, the one I'm
Just
thinking
because it
of
has
is-
acetylene attached to it.
well, this one's not. This one's literally the little propane bottle. It's it's a work torch you use on plumbing.
I have seen an acetylene torch used for that.
I've
Well, I have a
used a
little bitty
acetylene
kitchen
torch for that.
torch.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can bring an acetylene torch if we need it, but what? What?
toasting cheese.
For toasting cheese.
No, you
I like
don't
the
wanna,
way you think. Oh,
It was quick.
I'm sure.
I've cooked with an acetylene torch before.
It was quick.
It was quick.
Yeah. Zip, zip. Okay, done.
Mhm.
What are you doing with that? Watch.
I
Yeah.
have the little bitty creme brulee torch. But
Yeah.
that isn't quick.
Oh,
So
those are so cute.
Those are
yes,
cute.
exactly.
It's so cute.
Not necessarily that useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to carry the propane torch when we were tapping sugar maples because when you got 3 feet of snow on the ground, to the plastic tubes that you use from tree to tree get
Yeah.
real stiff. So a little pop from the torch and warm it up, and then you can stick it on the connectors.
Yeah, as long as you go
So,
zip and
yeah.
then do it, because
Yeah.
otherwise you're trying to get the stuff off your hand where it melted to
Well,
it.
you're wearing gloves too, but also
It's that cold. You better be wearing gloves.
you learn how fast you can do this, and generally it's pretty quick.
Verf the flamen, toasting the cheese.
I think-
Yes.
RK, I think a couple of us have got some sterno fired warmers too,
Yeah, so-
but that would be a help.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't know that I have start.
I think I've got a
little
hibachi.
camp stove.
Really, I have hibachi somewhere. If we need hibachi, we need hibachi.
Oh yeah, David. At a
I'm
certain
not-
distance from nuclear exposure, pizza will be perfectly cooked before it's vaporized, all in about 1/1000th of a second.
I have a rather large 55-gallon barrel drum grill
Oh, that's right. You
that
do,
I
don't
am
you?
not moving because my son built it. And but y'all are welcome to come over to the house and use it.
I mean, like I said, if you go to Sammy Social on Facebook, you can take a look at it. It's a repurposed service
Yeah.
station.
It's
They've literally
cool.
got a full. They've got a full kitchen in there, Winkle Red.
Yeah,
So we'll be all right on that.
yeah. No, it's gonna be fun,
It's going to be
and
interesting.
it should be cool enough. There's an outside fenced-in area.
Yeah, there's a stockade. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, outside
Yeah.
fenced-in area for the teacup
for the
humans.
teacup humans, stockade for the teacup humans. There we go.
Clang.
Get out. Go play.
Oh,
Well, at least they cleaned the floor so we can't do the slide across the
I
floor
think it's sealed concrete. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
yeah.
as well as you can seal concrete that was a gas station one time.
I think
There's
you
some
pretty much
interesting
have to
stuff
seal
you
it.
can do with epoxy these days. I've seen some really pretty concrete floors.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
most
know
of them.
the whole bubbling up oil
Yeah.
constantly. That's a whole other thing. I know.
Yeah, it's amazing how slick some things can get.
My mom, when she was house hunting in Kentucky, looked at a house, and the house itself was going to have to be removed, and she'd have to put a new house in. But they had scalped this plot of land that she was looking at,
How
and
quick
I'm
does she need
wondering,
it removed?
I'm wandering around looking at it, and I find what they said was a concrete pad that she could put a barn on it. And I'm looking at it, and I start poking around the edges of it, and I'm like, Mom, there was some kind of a service station here, and probably the reason that that little pond over there is completely fenced off and 6-foot high chain link, and they've scraped all the topsoil out from around here, is that there was stuff spilled on this land that you really don't want to know about.
It's a super fun site.
That was exactly what I said.
It's a super fun site.
Moffett Field, California.
The question I
Maria,
said earlier
Kentucky.
about how fast you need it removed, explain that. I probably don't need to use explosives in that area.
Moffett Field, they actually came in when we decided to close, quote unquote, BP 31 and move the squadrons to Hawaii. They came in to do a check. And they went over by Ames Research hangars and started digging.
And lit off everything.
And all of a sudden, we're seeing people in full biohazard suits. And then we see this stack of dirt covered by multiple tarps, labeled as an EPA Superfund.
And a whole bunch
Mhm.
of E6s and E8s went. I spent an entire career right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
They never did a damn thing with it.
No.
Of course not. It's the
No.
EPA.
This is now 92, 02, 12, 22. So 30 years later,
Mm-hmm.
it's still labeled, the tarps are gone, and the dirt's blowing around.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Congress, I realize you have an emotional attachment to EPA, but I don't care. It's gone. Love, President Lodo.
And on that note, folks, we've wasted another hour of your time. Yeah, technically, it's called a brownfield, yes. And make sure the kids don't have fencing pliers.
We'll twist them before we send them outside.
With some of the people we're around, the kids probably have their own fencing pliers.
We'll twist them before we send them outside.
I had a multi-tool at a relatively young age.
Logan got special permission to carry his to school.
Out here, they're called fencing pliers.
I had knives, firearms, and explosives.
Yeah.
You were feral. We have covered this.
we really need to do the education of Lala. We really need. I want to draw that one.
Yeah, Padre, it was fun playing golf at Ord because there were some funny looking spots in some of the fairways.
Dugway Proving Grounds.
Any updates on
Thwack.
Cats in Space
I've
Volume
got a
2?
third eye.
Any update on what in space?
Cats in Space Volume 2.
Why, yes, actually. Yes, there is.
Oh, yes. Hang on.
Let's see here. Which one did we decide on?
That one.
Aha, that one. Okay.
Look, Jim, it's the cover for Cats in Space Volume 2.
Cats.
That was mean because it had rolled up.
Yeah.
So
Show
I'm
the
sorry,
you
Jim.
go.
It rolled up. Look, guys.
I had nothing to do with this bunch. Y'all have a good weekend,
So,
folks.
Cats in Space. Moggies back in space. There's your cover.
Y'all have a good weekend, folks. Be safe.
Y'all be safe.
And remember, don't pet the sweaty stuff. Don't sweat the petty stuff.
Okay, hang on. Update on Moggies too. Hang on.
Contracts will not be going out for at least another month.
You got a month for contracts go out. Bye.
patience.
Patience,
Patience.
Padawan.
See you, folks. Bye-bye.